Hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. We are back with some more Children of Morta. And we are back into the Silk Caverns, and we will see how well we can do here. Hopefully we'll be able to get through these Silk Caverns in this episode. One of the things, there are a couple things I want to talk about as we play here. One of the things I want to talk about is that, I'm going to be, I don't want to say changing up much, kind of was the plan to begin with, is to not, there's a lot of games out there and there's a lot of games that I want to even show off, and I was never planning to do all of them all the way through. So, I don't really want to say I'm dropping a few games, but I will be... Oh, get out of there. Shoot, that was a bad idea. It'll be more of like I've showed you a little bit of the snippet of a game, and then you guys get to, see what you think about it, and then if you guys like it or not. So we'll do a few episodes, or we have done a few episodes of various games, and then those will be... we'll be moving on from there. So that's kind of the plan right now. This game will be one of the, I would say, major ones that we'll be doing right now. We'll be doing this and a couple other ones. I haven't fully decided which ones I wanted to do yet, but there are going to be some changes in what we'll be playing. I really would like to get that gold, but let's see if I can get in there and out, and did not get hit. Sweet. So the whole point here was to show off some amazing modern retro games, and there are just way too many games coming out right now to give all of them a full playthrough. So that is, kind of one option, is just to do a little bit of each one, kind of give you an idea of the gameplay, the mechanics, that sort of thing, and then we will... Do I not have one of those little, gemstones? Oh gosh. We need to... Oh gosh, that was close. So, we'll do some of that. We'll show off some games, and then maybe some other games we'll put a little bit more work into it. Again, I don't know if we'll be doing a full playthrough of every game or even a lot of the games, but it will be at least a good bit to give you an idea of the game and the mechanics and that sort of stuff.
Before the hero was a game of chance and memory.
Oh, this doesn't sound like fun. Okay, that was not the right button to hit. Okay, let's see if we can get these. Yeah, we have to be careful. This one was... I remember this puzzle from playing the first demo. It's basically just trying to get through without getting killed while you try to memorize the steps. So the two far ones were wrong for the first one. So, okay, so we know now which one is the right. Oh gosh, I hit the wrong step again. I hit another step. Okay, that's really going to be painful here, and I may not make this run here. These guys are all over me, and I am in a little bit of a trouble here. Let's see if I can get something done and get something killed here without getting too damaged. This is an unfortunate little circumstance of events here. Here we go. We got one more to do. We know which one we need to hit first, but that really is going to hurt us there. Because we can't... Oh, no, we can go out. Okay, let's just go out. I don't need that. I really don't. Take your... You know what? I'm going to grab this, too. Take your chances. It's all, again, all about essence of something. Terms of magical items found in the land of Morta. Each one has a special effect. Down there, consumed after being activated. Interesting. Well, that's a good to know. What does that do? Affect a random... Gain the effect of a random obelisk. Okay. Cool. fair enough. One of the other troubles that you kind of have in the realm of modern retro is that, you know, the concept is fairly objective. As opposed, you know, what is retro, and then you know, you have to also think about you know, what's retro and how do you define that category, and then what does it mean to everybody. Not only if you get a straight definition of that category, each person's perception of that is going to be a little bit different, I believe, and that's going to affect how they view the category, and then also you know, what kind of games they would enjoy in that category. We got ourselves in a little bit of trouble. So as I try to show off some of these games, I try to show what I like to play, what I find interesting, something that grabs that little retro inspiration for me. Not only that, but I try to show off good games, and I really try to be a positive person as well, so there probably will not be a lot of bashing on games. I will be honest, if there's a game that I'm not interested in, or a game that I don't feel has done up to, you know, made it to the my seal of approval, I guess, for whatever that means, in whatever, whether it be in its retroness or whether it be in just how it you know, what mechanics and stuff like that it's borrowed. You know, I could say games inspired by anything, and I guess that makes it a modern retro game, but that necessarily does not make it a good game. So that's kind of the other thing that I'm looking at here is I want to show off good modern retro games, and I'm not afraid to say that you know, a game has not done something right. It has not done it you know, its namesake, its inspiration well enough, or something to that effect, or there's something about the mechanics that they choose. And that's another thing when you're coming into the retro games. Now we have probably close to 50 years of, you know, game development, and we don't have to stick to those annoying mechanics or you know, play styles that we did, because, you know, in that early development we didn't know what would work and how to effectively develop a game or make it in a certain way, and I don't think that we have to, when we, you know, emulate you know, retro games, we definitely don't have to stick to those older mechanics. Again, like artificial difficulty is a thing that still definitely exists in today's games, but I feel a lot of ways, I mean, there is a terminology, Nintendo Hard, for a reason, and I think that's one of the things that we don't have to emulate, things that we shouldn't try to emulate as we progress and make modern retro games. It just it's not helpful, it's not effective, it doesn't make good games. We have learned since then. I think that the whole appeal of modern retro is that you take mechanics or something of modern design and make it with some you know, some modern influences or some modern mechanics, change it up in some way so that you know, that those limitations or those difficulties of the past are not present. There's been several games that have done very good at this. There are several games that have not done very good at this that I have experienced, and that's kind of what I'm here to do, and hopefully am able to help you guys not only decide what is what games are, or not decide necessarily, but find what games that are inspired by retro games, but out of those games, which ones are worth your time and your hard-earned money. And that's the antithesis, the reasoning, the drive behind the channel. I hopefully will be able to get for you guys. I think it looks like I've cleared out everything. So let's move on. Hopefully we can get down to the second stage pretty quickly. I'm afraid that pool there just makes me think that something is going to happen. Okay, let's... Ooh, we get a buddy or something. Create a totem that distracts all enemies. Oh, that's awesome. So create... Oh, so I actually have to use this one. Oh, that's interesting. That's a different type of one that we haven't done before.
The halls of Anea Dia, so mesmerizing in their magnificence, were to be found at the end of a long road. And a hero never knows what is awaiting them at the end of a road. Moving is more important than reaching.
And another thing I really want to strive to, at times I have a difficulty defining, not necessarily, I know I enjoy a game when I play it or don't enjoy it, but sometimes I find it a little bit difficulty in defining objectively why it is, I enjoy this game or that game. So I want to try to point out that a little bit more. And some things, some smaller things that I think make or could damage a game. One of the things that I saw, a lot of things that I'm going to be looking at is like the idea of accessibility. Accessibility is a very important and should not be overlooked feature of a game. It's one of those things that we could not put in retro games, but it's definitely not a limitation that we should strive to continue to do.
Somewhere nearby, a group of the defenseless needed assistance.
Okay, well, let's go assist the defenseless. So one of the things that I'm looking at in this game, while I overall like the game, I feel that the what is the word I want to use, the text there for the why can I not even think of the word that I want to use there? The text could be done better. The subtitles, the subtitle text definitely could be improved in this game. A lot of times an outline or even a way to increase the font could be much better. That's one of the things that I notice rather frequently in a lot of games is subtitles are definitely an improvement, but a lot of times, ooh, looks like we have saved these people here.
When hand in hand, the Bergons became an unstoppable force.
Let's see what we got. Lifelong path. Heals a portion of life once in a while. Well, that's kind of cool. That is definitely very useful. So things like that, there are games that have been out that have done, very good at accessibility options, and we're not going to go over the, I don't want to talk about specifically about a bunch of games while I'm playing a game. Let's talk about this one. in generalities, I will, like, we shouldn't be, working on trying to get artificial difficulty or making something particularly hard for the sake of it being hard, because you're striving to make a retro-inspired game, so it has to be incredibly hard, and that's not always the case. A game does not have to be unmercifully hard to be retro-inspired, and there's I think a lot of good examples of that. I think Shovel Knight was an incredibly very good game, and I don't think it was extremely terribly difficult. Of course, well, I gotta be careful. I just said that I will not be talking about other games, but there are things that we could do to make a game interestingly difficult rather than annoyingly difficult or difficult for the sake of difficulty. But it's hard. It's honestly, in my opinion, when you start talking about certain genres of games, it's very hard to not talk about certain games. And there are games out there, you think indie, these games pop into your mind, and when you think of modern retro games, there's these other games pop into mind. And likewise, you could say that about first-person shooters, roguelikes, all genres have their their standout game that is kind of like, this is the game that either defined the genre or stuck out for some reason in the game. It was somehow transformative of the genre. And I think that every genre has those, and it just, when you're talking about that particular genre, it's hard to say, this is, not talk about it as an example. Okay, that was out. This, I believe, is a gate I'm gonna have to fight people in. Oh no, we get another Blade Slinger, a melee companion that fights by your side. Oh yes, another companion. I love companions. I think that's such a great idea in this game. Little companions that can follow you and get you little buffs. So that's kind of nice. It's almost like having a RPG party right there with you. Oh, ouch. Gotta watch out for that gravity thing, because it's gonna pull me into those spikes. Oh, I didn't know that thing had web shot, unless I missed it for some reason. I mean, I will talk about specific games if it fits within this game. Like in this game, I would be happy to talk about how Diablo works and things about Diablo, because it is pertinent to the game I'm playing, because of the influence of it. But to be just talking about other games, we'll probably try to limit that as much as I can. And again, I try not to speak badly of games. If you don't hear me talk about a game, is probably because I don't like it. I'm also fairly easy to please as well, so a lot of times there'll be games that I find enjoyable that a lot of people just don't happen to. Oh, is that? Oh, I know what that is, and we are going to try to avoid that for a minute. Let's see if there's any other bonuses or power-ups we could do here before we get into that, because if I remember from the oh, come on. The demo, I know what that is, and that's not fun. We'll explore over here a little bit, and then we will... That little skeleton there is going to be a pain in my butt. I know it. He's magical. And is going to hurt me. Those frozen things is really what gets you. If one of those pops up, they usually... here we go. We got another good hit on them there. They'll hold you. They're almost like little ice attacks that will freeze you in place for a time, and then gets rather difficult. I mean, you can't avoid or can't move, and that's kind of frustrating there. Let's see what else we got out here. But in my opinion, I feel that this have I don't know if the devs have specifically mentioned it or said anything about it, but I feel that this has an extremely... I hope that was the right way to go. We'll go back up there in a minute. I shouldn't have opened that. Extreme Diablo feel to it. I feel that that's one of the games that when you're talking about a genre, it's a defining game in the genre, in my opinion. One of those games that really may have not even started the idea or started that genre, but definitely had a extreme large influence on the genre, and maybe solidified it as its own genre. I mean, there were definitely RPGs. JRPGs go way back before Diablo, but I think as a genre of Western RPGs, Diablo definitely.
Not all in the caves were refugees. Some were just traveling merchants stuck in a bind.
Yeah, Diablo was definitely what's the word? What's the word I want to use? I need that, and there's not enough. Diablo was definitely a defining game for that genre and help it stick out. There we go. It's like we kill. Oh, wave 2. That's not what I wanted to see. Wave 2 is not a good thing. Ah! And I dropped that totem down. There we go. Oh, I like that totem. That's cool. That actually helped out quite a bit. I like that.
A strange-looking shopkeep dusted off his clothes, tipped his hat. He
Let's go
invited
talk to
them
the shopkeep.
stop
Oh, we've
by
gotten
his shop later, promising something for all adventuring needs.
shopkeeper. From now on, he'll appear in the dungeons offering goods for a price. Well, awesome. What is that? Jin's potion. Heal a portion of your missing health. I'm not going to switch that because I have that little traveler friend that does that for me, but I really could probably use some of these skill points. One of the other things that is interesting about this game is once you get, like, this is a one, when you go from 0 to 1 in a skill, it's 1 skill point, but now it's actually 2 skill points to go up from 2 up to 2. So it's very interesting. It's not a straight 1-1-1 linear skills, so that's kind of interesting how they have set that up like that. After spending enough skill points, each family member unlocks their own unique set of family traits. Family traits benefit all other family members as well. That's kind of cool. So, like, here, this is the family. If I can get to it, I'm going to read these, and it's not going to. Okay. So we got the family that moves together, stays together, increasing the entire family movement speed. Linda's damage increases with arrows loosed, and Guardian's Linda focus temporarily pushes her abilities to their max, distractedly increasing her attack power. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Let's go. let's head on out and see if we could fight this creature up ahead, and hopefully we will do well in its presence, if this is what I think it is. Oh, I so think this is what I think it is. Well, we are all ready to go, I guess. Let's see if we can do it.
All 8 eyes studied the one so willing to walk into their own tomb.
I might be quiet in this race here because this is a, I feel a very tough boss that's going to be hard to get through. And we might have to be a little bit quiet or a little bit dead. We'll have to just see how it goes here. Ah, come on. So it's gotten me twice already. We are not going to make it through this, I don't think. Yep, there we go. It jumped on me just like that.
Wondering if this was death.
So it pulls us back like that. It shows us our summary and how much we've healed in time and enemies killed, gold collected. So we're just going to have to slowly, you know, gather up our, you know, do runs, gather things, gather power, and we'll have to end up eventually beating it.
Kevin's need to help all began when his elder brother Mark left the house. His brother was strong, making any near him feel safe. But he left Kevin. Though Uncle Ben knew what his nephew needed, a focal point for his aspirations.
Hey, I believe, unless I can go, we go up to the library. What is the library? Oh, just information, I think, of the things that we have came across, it looks like. And then Uncle Ben's workshop will let us, that's the only other thing I think that we have unlocked right now. And then we've been here, we've done this armor. Warfare increases your damage and then our speed as well. I think one of the things that we need up probably pretty quickly is defense and damage. Speed not so much right now. Of course it's very expensive, but I think we're gonna go ahead and upgrade these again. Just push that up to see if we can see how well we could do. That's going to be the episode for today. I wish thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. This is Children of Morta, a very fun, family-oriented game. I really highly suggest checking it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.